good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kanipo and Makwa, standing in Sarasota, Tri-Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, and Anishinaabe Bay. 60 Scoop survivor, published author, United States Swimming national champion, and former United States Swimming national team member. Welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle, which really implies that we are the Medicine Circle, which is really states that no one's in charge here, including, especially me. I am in the service of the Great Spirit, and I'm in the service of the Circle, and there's really no other place that I'd just rather be. This is not a hierarchy. This is not a patriarchy. I'm not a pastor, preacher, a deacon, or anything like that. You're not my flock. I'm not up here and the rest of you down here. It's just, we're just sitting here in the same circle, learning and growing and healing and learning to love and, all that beautiful stuff that we do, right? So yeah. And one of the most important things, that we say, if no one said that, they love you today. I love you very much, which really just means that I want you to live your very best life, right? And I am agreeing to help you with that. And it's like a spiritual, it's not like, it is a spiritual agreement when we sit in a circle, really traditional circle. That's one of the really traditional things. It's like when we agree, it's kind of like, when grandfather says "aho," he explains it like this. It means that only it doesn't only mean I hear you. It means I hear you, I understand you, and I will help you with your prayer. That's what that means. I will help you with your journey. It is a beautiful, beautiful spiritual agreement. Yeah, anyway, that was a question that came in. What does the whole mean? So that's the short of it right there. I am way behind in my questions, but and answering the emails and stuff, but that's okay. That's okay. And so, all right, so kind of house announcements. If you see me looking back and forth, we are covering. There's two cameras here. There's a YouTube live video going on. Because some people just kind of have a thing with Facebook. I sometimes have a thing with Facebook. So a couple times we've gone live over there. It is Standing Bear the author. So go please like and subscribe over there. Hit that subscribe button, and you will get notified when we are live. So that's that. Also tomorrow at 6 p.m. At noon Eastern time, I will be on Jesse Hall's The Missing Link show. So look for that. That's very exciting. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's light up. Let's go ahead. I've been lighting smudge all morning, actually. So let us get a couple volunteers to help us with the smudge this morning. That is in direct reference to and for honoring the residential school children who never came home. So we're honoring their journey back home. We are honoring the families who the loved ones and the missing who are still missing, who are the children who never came home. And part of that also is the smoke. The smoke connects us all, so it helps bring them home. Also, it's good to know. So give me a little heart, give me a little thumbs up. It's just a little smoke going throughout the morning circle. That would be great, please, and thank you for that. Also, we want to recognize where, it's really important that we recognize where these prayers came from. These prayers came from an elder, a grandmother out in Vancouver, British Columbia. And, when the grandmother suggests something like that, it's like no longer like, okay, when the grandmother suggests we do, that's the deal. That's the thing. Well, I think you should do that. And there's no debate when the grandmother say, I think you should do that. So we are really grateful. In fact, I spoke to her a couple weeks ago, and she loves to check in every now and then. And yeah, she's really happy we're keeping that prayer going. So I love you guys. Thank you for the grandmothers, and thank you for all your love and wisdom. So let's begin let's begin here in the usual way. Let us, the old one said, if it doesn't begin with offering, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with prayer, then it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. So let's begin in a good and beautiful way. A little help from above, a little help from below, as above, as below, and offering. And if you would like to offer with me, that would be good. And then Chi Megwich, Kitchi Manitou, Chi Megwich for our breath, Chi Megwich for our circle, Chi Megwich for our day, Chi Megwich for our life. Thank you. We are grateful for our last breath, and we are hopeful for our next, and we live in that beautiful place in between. We come here today. We mean no harm in what we do. We come here in a good way, in a humble way, in a sacred way. We come here just to sit in a beautiful circle on a beautiful day, celebrating our beautiful lives. We may come here for a lot of reasons, and that's okay. But the first reason why we are here is a celebration of life, and not just our life, because that would be selfish. We come here to be selfless. We come here to celebrate all nations, tribes, and circles, especially those nations, tribes, and circles that do not look like the two-legged, like the standing nations, the ones that offer the world breath. We say thank you. To the swimming nations, the ones that teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the water, we say thank you. To the winged nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the wind and air. To the creepy crawlers and the slithers, the ones who teach us how to stay close and grounded to Mother Earth, we say thank you. To the four-legged nations, circles, and tribes, for the ones who offer us and teach us so much to and for our humanity, we can't say enough thank you. So thank you. Thank you for teaching us so much. And of course, the other two-legged nations, circles, and tribes, all two-legged nations, circles, and tribes, we understand that you are our teachers as well. And this makes our ears and our hearts very happy. We come here today to celebrate those spirits that bring us life: air, water, fire, earth. We come here and we celebrate the lives of those who have come before us, our ancestors. And remember, it is more than the two-legged that are our ancestors. So the first eagle, bear, fox, wolf, otter, panthers, these are also our ancestors. And they lived in a good and beautiful way. The way they lived is their offering to us. The way we live is our offering to the next 7 generations, and that's the way it goes. And so we come here in great gratitude and great thank you that they have lived in a beautiful and sacred way. They have remembered the laws, the sacred laws, the natural laws, the universal laws. And they are here to help us. They help us by showing us how to live a good life in accordance with spiritual law. Because we two-leggeds have forgotten our agreement with the sacred laws. We ignore them. We refuse. And we also acknowledge that some of our two-legged ancestors were hurt, wounded, abused, and traumatized, and they passed those hurts, abused, and traumatized to us. And we understand this is a time of great suffering and great grieving and mourning for the traumas and abuse they have delivered and they have offered. We understand that this is a process, and this is a healing process. And during this process, it's okay not to be okay. We understand. We understand and acknowledge this, but we also understand that we must begin and we must continue during this process. And we begin to understand as we move along, as we heal, that what they offered us was never for us to carry. It was not to be given. And we come here and we heal. And we heal ourselves, and we heal those traumas. We are here to make good relations. We are here to make good relations with all life. We are here to make good relations for the next seven generations. But we can't do that if we're in our place, in our unhealed place. When we're still practicing those fears and those drinking and those drugging and all the violence and all the chaos and all the crisis that goes with unhealed behavior. How we live our lives is our offering to the next 7 generations. For we only borrow this earth from our children, and our children are only loaned to us. So we live at the intersection between 2 unseen worlds. We live in the seen and the unseen, the spiritual and the physical. And what an opportunity, what a great time and place it is. An incredible opportunity lies before us right here, right now, to break those chains and break the cycles that keep us sad, lonely, depressed, keep us drunk, and keep us in violence, keep us in crisis. And that we don't need to live that way anymore, that we can begin to learn to live in accordance with spiritual law. What a great opportunity we have today to help the future. And it's not out there that's going to do it, it's in here. That's what we do. If it doesn't go in here, then it won't go out there. It won't go to our families, communities, and nations. So we come here, we sit in circle and learn how to go within and to heal those beautiful places and become those beautiful people that we are. We learn to speak in a sacred way, in a gentle way, in a holy way, that we treat the earth and all beings on this earth as if they were our brothers and sisters, because they are. And along this path, along this healing path, it is a well-worn path, but we can't see it without a beautiful prayer, without beautiful intention, without spirit, and without offering. So we come here and we offer all these today. And these beautiful, these things, the offerings, the prayers, the healings. And then we will begin to see where we are supposed to go and the next right step. And we will begin to see this place called the Red Road. It is the road of wellness, the road of all life, the road of all healing, the road of all people, the road of love and unity, the road of this, as our Indigenous ancestors said, the sacred hoop. And we learn to find our place in that sacred hoop. We learn to find value in us and the gifts that we have to offer. And without it, we won't be able to find it. So we come here today in a good way to offer ourselves in a good way to the healing. Come as you are, as the old one said. We don't need to be perfect to come here, but when we are here, we are perfect together. And that is true. And along this path, the Red Road, there are teachings: humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, wisdom, and courage. These are spirits. These are beautiful, beautiful spirits to hear, to help us, to guide us along this way. So we are here and grateful for life, grateful to walk this path, grateful that we know what to do, where to go, grateful that there is a safe place that we can love and be loved equally. We can learn what that is. We can learn to speak our truth. And that's a beautiful thing. And then we will remember, our hearts will begin to remember, the longer we walk this path, this beautiful path of love and light, we will remember the first prayer at the center of the universe. Prayer of harmony and balance, the first prayer that ever was. We come here to be the peacemakers. We do not come here for anything else. Come here to use kind words to encourage each other, to use the words offered to us by our grandfathers and grandmothers and those who have come before them. And we will remember who we are, this beautiful time and this beautiful place of hope. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is, we are coming to you live from East Germany here. I am still in Europe. We had a beautiful weekend of ceremonies. I got to sit in a couple of ceremonies, and that's just beautiful when I come here and support the elders here. So that was really, really beautiful. So yeah. So a couple things before we start in earnest. We talk about there's about four things that we talk about, and hollow bones, and it's really important that we understand it. That's why we're here. That's the prayer that was offered to me by grandfather, the one that we just said. That we just prayed. That's a hollow bones prayer. That's a red road prayer. It's all intertwined and overlapping. That's a hollow bone. So we understand that there's a life force out there. It is represented in everything, both seen and unseen. So the sunrise, the sunset, the eagles, the bears, the seasons, the rain. Um, it is represented in everything. And so we are here to make good relations. We are here to be good relatives. And that just doesn't mean, to our cousins, to our direct brothers, to not only family members, but it means the family of life. That means to all those beautiful things. It's hard to live a good life if we're not connected to life. And when we're not connected to life, there's sadness, loneliness, depression creeps in, and that's really what that colonial Western patriarchy world really offers us. It's a place of loneliness and despair, but we don't have to live that way. Our indigenous ancestors said there's another way, and to connecting to, and one of those things that I use all the time, and that is one of the foundations of my personal life, my personal prayer life, is really facing east and really welcoming um, in a good way the sunrise, the sunrise medicine, the new beginning. I love new beginnings. I have been near death so many times. I was talking to a friend last night about this, and I'm so not today. And so I just, when I sit in that moment of gratitude, right, new beginnings. This is a brand new chance, an opportunity, right? That not only did I get myself out of some really hot water, but I really learned to live a really good and beautiful life, and I'll get to share that life. And so that's what Grandfather Tony taught me and my direct elders. That's what the other elders over Fishing Lake First Nation, they taught me too, sitting with them and said, bring this medicine back to the people because they have forgotten how to live in a good way. And so that's what I do. So also, there was a comment the other day that I'm so glad that you're the hollow bones, that you're the hollow bones, and and I appreciate that too. But the teaching is we are all hollow bones, so you don't have to wait for me to come here to do the lot. That means use kind words. That means be the peacemaker. Like, some people wrote down that prayer. Um, um, the prayer that we just said, and they kind of modified it to make it their own, and that's okay, that's good, but that means in practical terms, that means being nice to the deli guy and the guy at the gas station. That mean, and especially means um, to use kind words in their situations, because and like anybody can be spiritual when everything's going good, when the romance is going good, the finance is going good, and all this stuff is going good. But it's really tough to be spiritual when things are not going as good as we wanted, or what we need, right? When the things aren't quite right, that's the time where, as Grandfather Tony said, the rubber meets the road. It's okay, I'm having a tough day. I just got a diagnosis or something like this. I got that, and I don't know what to do. Well, be grateful, be kind, be generous, be loving, and honor all life, right? And all those attributes, all those qualities are found in the morning sunrise, right? And the more we sit with it, the more we listen to it, the more we understand, the more we connect, the more gentle that we become. So anyway, and also one of those things that I do is I really kind of switch up the hollow bone thing, because some people want and coming, it's a suggestion from you, and I really do welcome those suggestions. um But the hollow bones is like a fluid, man. It really is, and so that's what the spirit just keeps telling me. So I kind of mix it up a little bit, so that's why I do that. Okay, ancestors and elders. It's really traditional to thank those that come before us. So thank you to grandfather Tony Stonehawk. Thank you to after I've been sitting with him for again over 30 years now. It's just been really what a beautiful and terrific ride it's been with him. And thank you to all those other men and women, especially out of Fishing Lake First Nation, who I've gotten the honor to sit with, and all those other men and women who I've gotten to sit with around the world. It's really quite a remarkable story that I get to be asked to go to all these beautiful places and just sit with the elders there. That's really what we do. And when the medicine gathers, that's when the magic happens, right? And so yeah, and of course, thank you to the ancestors, the grandfathers, and the grandmothers, the ones who came before us, and especially it was really difficult on Turtle Island because the invasion was happening, and they slaughtered us, and so thank you for those who have carried medicine. Now we get to carry the medicine to you. So that's a beautiful thing. Okay, here we go. Circle medicine. Okay, that's one of my favorites. No one's in front of us. No one's behind us. No one's above us. No one is below us. That means we are all equal. That's what that means. And that's what this means right here. We are all intertwined and overlapping. There's 16 of us here, but there's so many more. This is the sunrise. This is the season. This is the rain. This is Lynn. This is Luna. This is Valerie. This is Jamin. This is Karen. This is Matt. These are all these people are here. And we have to one of those questions, and I'm just going to jump into a couple questions. So one of these questions, like, how do we really get to understanding that we are all intertwined and overlapping? And that's a really beautiful question. And here's my answer. It's just it's one of those things that we have to go to that physical place. So we have to go to ceremonies. We have to go to the forest, we have to go to the stream, we have to go to the mountains, and we just have to sit, right? But the other part of it, right? That's the physical part. But the spiritual part is praying with, right? But that's not it either. That's not the only thing either, right? One of those beautiful things is, and this is grandmother medicine right here. This is, the grandmother showed me this, and it just made a lot of sense when the grandmother's speaking. And it's just a beautiful thing. So using our imagination, right? This is one of the medicines of the sweetgrass. This is the sweetgrass, right? And when I say we are intertwined and overlapping, this is exactly what we mean, right? So we bring our imagination into this beautiful, beautiful thing, and is represented with this beautiful sweetgrass. So we can't have one without the other, right? So it's all intertwined and overlapped. So just think about that, right? We live in a world of separation. We live in a world of division. Race divides us, religion divides us, nationality. All these things are actual lies, right? And we believe these things, and we hold on to them, and we get offended by something that we're not even really. So what we really are is we are a human family. So our ancestors talked about this, and I talked about it in a circle the other day. We are only the two-legged nation. That's it. We are all indigenous of Earth. That's it. That's it. The boundaries and the borders, that's just something made up, but we believe in that, right? We believe in one side, we believe in the other, we believe in adversarial, because our world is based on being adversarial. It's a broken scenario, it's a broken model of society, but really, as indigenous people, we really understand that we are one people, that we are one nation, that we are part of a lot of other beautiful and powerful nations that bring us life, right? So the Standing Nation, the Fish people, and then all these nations. There's so many winged nations, there's so many four-legged nations, right? And each of them bring us a beautiful spiritual message that brings us life. That's the deal, right? But we'll never get there if we're constantly fighting ourselves, right? That's the deal. So I love it. Okay, sacred feminine. This is really important that we talk about this because there's again there's this unseen but really visible um, broken link between us and again that is created, that is social engineering by the powers that be, by this by by the religions, right? Well, women can't vote, women can't do this, women can't do that, and it's just mind-boggling because we wouldn't be here if it weren't for the women. We come from that beautiful, beautiful place, the beautiful womb space, giving, offering life. That's the deal. They are the life givers. They are part of the circle, and we have to believe and understand and work with that they are the life givers, and just praying with that, and just sit with that a second, the life givers, right? Just sit with that word here, write that down, write that word, the life givers, right? And then we begin to understand. When I talked to the grandmothers, I said that's not just a one-time event. So a woman gives birth and that's it, it's over. No, they are life givers their whole life. That's why the grandmothers, right? So on Turtle Island, they were the life givers, right? Right? They gave life to the tribe. The grandmother's council gave life to the tribe, right? They directed, in the circle. It wasn't a hierarchy, but in the circle. And, the men did the will of the grandmothers. They did the hunt, they did all the stuff. And so that's that. They worked in equality and they worked in balance in accordance to the gifts that we have been offered. So, okay. I love you. So, okay. So, question of the day: healing trauma. Okay, right. Okay. The Red Road: healing trauma, understanding our truth. It's really it's not that hard to what am I trying to say? It's a difficult path, but the path is right in front of us, right? Right. So healing trauma is, it's hard to heal trauma when we're not connected to life, right? And, this weekend I was talking to a psychologist again. I always end up talking like psychologists, and, we're talking to healing modalities, we're talking about all these clinical diagnosis and everything. And, I understand that, right? At a certain level, right? But this is the deal, right? We come from a place that gave us life, right? Mother Earth, the sacred feminine. We just talked about that, right? And then right away we are severed from that life-giving place, that place of Mother Earth. That means we're separated from the medicines that give us life, right? So we don't go to first grade to learn and understand our connection to life, right? That's very clear. That's real obvious. And, we learn to draw, color, all this stuff, math, numbers, and all this number. But what that really does, it really that's education kind of heading in like the wrong direction, right? And like that's okay because it has to be some sort of education, right? But the first education is we have to understand our relationship with those things that give us life, right? That's the first education. Without that education, right? Right. There is, let's call it what it is. There's a clinical break, right? There's a trauma there when we step away from the ways of Earth, right? Right. It's really, really that simple, right? And so, people want to understand with these heavy diagnoses, but they don't include the ways of earth. They don't include the ways of water. They don't include the ways of the fire. They don't include the ways of the air. They have no relation with this, right? So that's why that trauma cycle keeps going and going and going and going. It's my belief that we have to get back to the ways of earth. And I'm not saying here's the clinical bear. Here's just saying that I understand that there's a spectrum, right? And there are some people that are really, really, psychotic and sick and schizoaffective and bipolar. I get that, right? But let's start here. Let's start with prayers of Mother Earth. Let's sit together in the circle. Let's understand. Let's listen to these beautiful, beautiful prayers and these beautiful, beautiful medicines. I I heal directly from the medicines of Mother Earth, right? Because I was, I came here, I came here from heavy, heavy abuse. I was traumatized from day one. They put me in orphanage, and then they put me in foster care, and then I was sold to a white American family. And I was so abused and so traumatized, I like ended up doing all these self-soothing behaviors and stuff like that, and then drinking, drug, and all this other behavior, right? It wasn't until Grandfather Tony said, "Let's go back to the ways of Earth," and then now here we are, 30 years later. Here I am talking to you. I'm not diagnosed with anything, right? I'm not. I got a couple of health issues, but like blood pressure and that kind of thing. But beyond that, there's no psychotic stuff, right? There's no stuff like that. So I'm really getting back to the root of the problem. Is the first trauma, like my first trauma was the break from my culture. Then it was the break from Mother Earth, and then it was like all these other things. So really, what we did was going back to it, and this goes back to the conversation that we're all from Earth, right? Just because you're white Anglo doesn't mean you're not from Earth, right? Doesn't mean you're not Indigenous, right? So we all come from the ways of Earth. That's the deal. That's natural law. And so let's begin there. Let's begin to want to sit with the water. Let's start to sit with the grandmothers, the women with the grandmothers, right? And the men with the grandfathers, that's where the healing starts. Sitting in ceremony, beginning to offer ourselves, beginning to make that basic offering. That's why we offer, right? Like we want to be healed, but we're not going to make any offering, because that colonial Western patriarchal world, the pharmaceutical world doesn't believe in that. It doesn't understand that. And that will forever keep us broken, right? When we don't make that traditional offering, the spirits understand, right? When we start beginning to make those offerings, those tobacco offerings, that's why we do it. That's why we do it here. That's why Grandfather Tony made me do the 30-day challenge. That's why, and I continue to do that because I continue to work on my healing, continue to work on my connection, right? I don't think I'm fully healing. I don't think and that's a place of humility. That's not a place of trauma. It's just understanding that basically that there's always going to be new levels of healing and understanding. And I get that and I understand that. And I'm good with that because now I know what to do with it, right? Whereas before, when I first got here, I didn't know what to do with it. I ended up with violence, crisis, drinking, drugs, all that. But, that was my solution to the trauma, right? So that is a problem, but it's not the problem, right? So when I started to sit in the ceremonies, when I started to sit next to the fire, the fire is one of our greatest teachers. The water is one of our greatest. Learning how to breathe in a good way is breath work is very, very important. Sitting by the fire is very, very important. Sitting with earth, putting our feet in the earth, that's very, very important. And so that's where I tell people to start, right? That's where I tell people to start. So anyway, I love you. Please keep your questions, concerns, and comments coming. I do not guarantee, especially now that I'm traveling, I'm in Europe for a little while now. Anyway, I love you. So we are here now. We are here. This is the moment I think we've all been waiting for. So what we do here is a couple books here that go ahead and get your copy right here, Whispers from the Hollow Bone, Daily Medicine. I realize you see it backwards, and there's always comment. I love you. Thank you for that comment. I get it. But here, these so what these are here, we'll just do a little show and tell here. They are little passages, little readings, and what they do is they connect us to the spirit. That's what they do. They connect us to hollow bones. They connect us to the prayer. They connect us to life. It connects us to all these beautiful, beautiful things, right? And so what we do here is we pick a passage, and we have picked Whispers from the Hollow Bone, December 6th today. So that is, and what we will do is we will read it a couple times, develop a general impression, and then we will go ahead and break that down. And these are all medicine wheel teachings. Everything begins with spirit. So so kind of write that down. So there's spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, right? Those are the four quadrants. In fact, I probably should have made like a sort of like a medicine wheel so I can show you kind of what that is. And again, here's another thing. That's just one part of the medicine wheel, right? There's spring, there's south, yeah, spring, fall, winter, and summer, and that's all represented. There's an emotion attached to every one of them, and there's so all that. So we are taking just one part of it. And as Grandfather Tony says, everything begins with the spirit. That's what we mean. That's what we do, right? So we're going to read a couple times. If we could get a volunteer to put this in the feed, please, and thank you in advance. Again, what we're going to do is we're going to read a couple times. And here's a preamble thing. Here's the thing. We are not bad people becoming good, right? We are not bad people becoming good. Write that down. Just because we've been traumatized doesn't mean we're bad people, right? Right. We are just becoming healthy. That's what that means. And there's a beautiful place of patience here. There's a beautiful place of compassion and gentleness right there. Right. And, let's go back to the question, right? We have to speak in gentle terms. We have to speak in compassionate terms, right? We have to speak in healing terms and loving terms, right? That's the way we learn to speak in a sacred way, right? So, and this is part of that, especially this reading right here. So, okay. So, Whispers from the Hollow Bone, December 6th. There is a stillness and a patience inside each and every one of us. And I want everybody to circle us there. It is not a remote place or a deep place. It is found alongside the rhythm of Mother Nature, which we were born with. I'm just going to let that marinate. There is a stillness and a patience inside each and every one of us. It is not a remote place or deep place. It is found alongside the rhythm of Mother Nature, which we were born with. I love you. We just talked about gentle compassion, right? Learning to speak in a sacred way, right? The spirits, we are guided here by the Great Spirit, right here. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? We live in a world, and this is just contrast medicine, right? So we live in a world that's full of crisis, chaos, and calamity, right? I think we can all agree about that, right? Right. And we are so self-absorbed in that we identify that, and then we become that, and then we share that, and then we honor that, and then we walk with that, right? That will forever keep us lost, lonely, scared, afraid, depressed, alone, right? Feeling alone, right? But that's not the way. That is the way of the illusion. Here it completely smashes in a really beautiful, gentle way who we are, what we are, and what we're supposed to be doing, right? This is beautiful. There is a stillness. There is a beautiful stillness inside you. I don't know if you know it. When I got here, I didn't know that, right? I was so self-absorbed, right? These selfish behaviors, these selfish and talking, it's only about me. That's what we're talking about. That is not a still place, right? The selfish place is not a still place, right? Right? That is a selfish place, right? But that's what that world teaches us, especially when we come from heavy trauma. We blame ourselves for everything, right? Right. There is a stillness. what does that mean? Again, here, I love you. Just hang on here. I love you. Just here. Just stay with me. Just hang on a second. So there's a stillness. What does that mean? Everything begins with spirit. So let's bring the medicine wheel in here. The spiritual. Okay, so it even gives us a beautiful direction to go to. Okay, so we're facing east, right? Right. I just talked about the stillness of the sunrise, right? And what is that? Welcoming the ancestors back, right? That's a beautiful place. And where are the ancestors going? They're coming right to us, each and every one of us. They come right back to us to help us, to guide us, to assist us, to nurture us, to heal us, right? Right. That's why that morning ceremony is so important, right? Because we remember that place of stillness. When we're chaotic, brings crisis and calamity, right? It looks like this, right? Like it's all around us. It's like people vibrate like that, like, oh my God, it's so scary. Everything's so scary. Everything's so scary, right? The absence of movement, right? How does a flower bloom? A flower doesn't bloom in chaos and crisis, no. A flower blooms from that beautiful, still place, right? We are all these beautiful, beautiful flowers. We're all different sizes, shapes, colors, all this, everything. We're all blooming and we're all healing at different times. But you know what? That flower message is really beautiful, really powerful, right? And it's right there before us, right? People are looking for healing when healing's already around us. We have these medicines begging for a relationship with us. But we pay thousands of dollars to go here, to go to a psychologist, go here, to go to university, go here, to learn all about these clinical diagnoses, when really what we have to do is, again, just sit with those things that want to offer us life, right? Right. There is a stillness, and I don't know. And so here's a very, very clear term. It doesn't say sometimes there's a stillness. Maybe when you're good, there's a stillness. Maybe if you behave, maybe you just shut up for a minute. Whether there's no, it doesn't say that, man. It says it's very simple here in very beautiful, direct, gentle terms. That's the terminology. That's the sacredness. That's how we know it comes from a beautiful, sacred place. There is a stillness. There is a stillness. You are that beautiful flower. Here's where imagination comes in. Just imagine yourself being that beautiful, beautiful flower. Or whatever it is. Being wherever. You don't have to be a flower. Just be that beautiful thing. Be that beautiful sunrise, right? That beautiful. The sunrise is not chaotic. It never. I've watched thousands of sunrises, right? Right. And every one reminded me of what? That beautiful place of stillness. And this beautiful place of something that I can become. And not only, and that was at the beginning, but something that I can walk with and hold on to and honor. What can you hold on to, walk with and honor? Right? Not too much, like if we can't sit with stillness, right? Not too much, because we're in that calamity chaos. It can't hold on to anything in that calamity and chaos, right? Right? So this is like the setup, right? This is like the preamble, right? Right? Telling us what to do and how to do it, to remind us of who we are, what we are, and how to do it, right? That's a beautiful thing, right? Right? And just gonna let that marinate for a second, right? And what we're doing here, and they're teaching us how to step into this beautiful thing called life. This beautiful thing of the sacred hoop, of honoring each other. That's further on down the line. This is it though. This is like the first chapter in the book of life right here. There is a stillness. Right? I love you. There is a stillness. That means, so behind the teaching, beyond the teaching, there's this place of beauty, and that's what they're talking about. Right? There's in each and every one of you. There's a place of beauty. How about that? I'm talking about this trauma thing, and then I thought I was my trauma, because in my mind the trauma kept going, what they did to me and how often they did it to me. It was like it was going over and over. It drove me insane. But I translated that, transmuted that back into this thing called life, right? Remembering, you know, there's a beautiful memories in there, right? Beautiful memories. And it says it here, we are Mother Nature, we are Earth. That's the memory, right? But we can't get there without doing this here, right? And in addition to, again, the other thing that we would do here is prayer and offering, right? Right. Prayer and offering tobacco. So that would be the other thing here too. That coincides. That works with it. So there is a stillness. So in Rebecca, in Leah, in Kimberly, there is a beautiful, beautiful stillness. Right. Right. The absence of movement, right? That beautiful seed, you know how many beautiful seeds are in you? How many beautiful moments you have ahead of you, right? That's the beauty right there. When we start to realize that, right? When we go from moment to moment in that beautiful place, we can be in a room, we can be moving, but we can hold that stillness inside. That means we can be okay with what's going around us and having that not affect us inside us, right? Right? There's chaos and calamity. Oh, I get that, right? So when I walk in earth, when I walk into those colonial things, I carry that beautiful stillness with me, right? And that nobody gets the opportunity. I don't offer the opportunity for anybody to take that stillness away from me. And that's a little bit of, it takes a little while to get used to that, right? Because we take things personally, but really, you know, but early in my journey and early in my walk, little things would throw me off. So I would throw my stillness, my patience away like confetti. Like, okay, somebody says something bad to me. Okay, then I'm thinking about it all day, right? I'm thinking, oh, that guy. You know what? That guy said it. I mean, he freaking hates me. You know what? I'm going to say it. Next time he says that, I'm going to say that. Next one, you know what? Maybe I should just go up and hit him. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll just go drink all day. And just go down and drink all day. And I'll come back. Well, that wasn't a good idea. I'll come back again. You see the chaos? One comment threw me off. But now it's just like, you know what? When we really understand this beautiful place of stillness, it is the thing that protects us most. And in that stillness is truth, love, honesty, respect, integrity, all these things, right? That's what that is. So stillness is its own living, breathing spirit. But if we never get to go there, if we never get to sit with it, we live in a world of distraction, right? Or we just slide these distractions aside and just be like, okay, right? I'm a beautiful, beautiful human being, right? You are beautiful, beautiful human beings, right? Right. Our insides are supposed to reflect our outsides, so that equal and balance, right? But, we live in a world where, we paint up the outside, but the insides are just kind of rotting, right? That's not stillness either, right? Stillness is having that equal and balance and being, yeah. Okay, I think we should move on because we should have to get around. It's got a long reading today. So anyway, I love you. Okay, so there is a stillness, an absence of movement. And I would kind of say sound too. So there is a stillness and patience. Okay, what is that? That's an interesting word. So they are putting together stillness and patience, right? And what is that? Remind you of anything? Yes, intertwined and overlapping. Right. I know some of you got that, right? So write that down. Stillness and patience. Put a big little circle around it. Like if you do, I carry around a notebook. I'm not, myself, and I take notes on these things, and I sit with them, and I say, okay, they are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spiritual relatives. Stillness, patience, and I would add silence to that too. Right. So we can be in a chaotic place, but still have silence and still have stillness and still have patience. Right. So if you ever been to Like, you ever been to like a ceremony and like things aren't going that well, and things appear to be going all wrong and sideways, and then you see the elder in the corner, right? And I've watched Tony with this. I watched Tony with, like, everything kind of seems going wrong and this and this, and like I would look over at Tony, and he'd just be sitting there. He knows it. He got it right. Calamity. This guy's showing up. Nobody showed up with that. Nobody's things are missing. We need stuff for the ceremony. It's not there. Oh my God. It's okay. He was just okay. Well, he showed up. Well, he's drunk, and he just, and like, he would just be sitting there and just be like, everything's gonna be fine. Right? Everything's gonna be okay. Right? And you know what? He was absolutely right. Every single time. I would think this world is falling apart, but what it was really doing, stillness and patience and prayer, means it was always falling together, and we never saw it. Right? That's between having a breakdown and a breakthrough and a breakthrough. Right? We get confused between the two. Right? What we want and what we need, that's the separation that we begin to understand that, but we can't do that without understanding, sitting with stillness, sorry, and patience. And what is patience? Patience is prayer, right? So write that down. Patience is prayer. It's an intimate, into me, you see, prayer. That's what that is. They are intertwined like this, right? They are more than brothers and sisters. They are part of this. So we can't have prayer without patience, right? We can't have patience without what? Stillness. Okay, stillness and what? Silence, right? And it doesn't need to be out there. If we're beginning with spirit, then it has to be within, right? So we don't have to wait to everything to be all right, to the outside world to be perfect, right? Right? That's the illusion that we wait for the outside. Okay, well, you have to be quiet, you have to be perfect, everything has to be lined up, the stars, this and that, they ought to be lined in order for me to have still. That's not what it says here. It says here we can have that anytime with that. In fact, not only do we have that, we're supposed to walk with that, right? So going back to Tony, when everything was seen to be calamity, crisis, and chaos, and he was just sitting here, everything's going to be okay. He knows because he carries this prayer. He carries the prayer of stillness, the prayer of silence, the prayer of patience. He carries this, and that's what we get. We get this beautiful, gentle place, right? And let's move on. And there's a truth inside each and every one of us. So the old ones, they got it, right? The elders, they got it. They know everything's going to be okay, right? Everything's going to be okay inside every one of us. Again, English is a broken language, but like a broken clock, it is right twice a day in us. They are relating you to the us, to the circle. That's what they're talking. That's the power. We are never alone. That's, you know what I'm saying? I love you. Right? Right? So they're relating the individual to what? The circle. Us is the circle. Us is in the human circle, right? Beginning with spirit is love, truth, right? So when we sit with this, we're that much closer to this love and truth, right? That's what Tony knew. All those times I thought it was like everything was chaotic, but he knows the truth. And the truth is everything works out every time. That's the truth, right? It is not a remote place. So we don't go have to Bali or the South Pacific or a beautiful waterfall. That's what they're saying. It's not a deep place. We don't have to go deep within, right? We have to go within, but it's really right there, right? It's always right there. It's always been right there, right? That beautiful place of stillness. And we live in a world that doesn't like stillness. It likes to be chaotic, right? So chaotic chaotic crisis and calamity. That's our comfort zone, especially we come from trauma, right? Come from trauma. Then the people we date, the people we marry, the people, the things we offer, what we offer in this 7 years. So we create this trauma and that's trauma behavior, right? Right. That's trauma thinking. That is unhealed thinking, right? But when the spirit comes in and starts to doctor these things, right? Then we start to understand that it's this beautiful time and this beautiful place right here, right now. And it's right before us. And a lot of us, what Tony told me, is just close your eyes and just know that you are that beautiful place, right? Right. Just know that you are that beautiful place, right? And that's the deal, right? That's that beautiful deal, right? That's awesome, man. It doesn't have to be the way it's always been. Right? The trauma cycles begin in our minds when we forget the stillness and the patience and the prayer. It takes us to a different place. It takes us to a more beautiful place, and that beautiful place that it takes to is not only the circle, but that place that we find ourselves. And when we realize we don't have to do those behaviors anymore. We don't have to drink. We don't have to we don't have to suffer in silence. There's a place there for us. We don't have to sit with the unhealed traumas. We don't have to be in that lonely place where we can't speak and we're not heard. Brings tears to my eyes, but that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, right? It is found alongside the rhythm of Mother Nature. Nature and nurture, write that down next to it. Nature and nurture, it's the same thing here, right? Mother, sacred feminine, right? Mother, sacred feminine, nurturing, that's the nature, right? Right. So nature is all around us. So alongside of us. And not only were we born with it, but it's everywhere, right? Right? Right. That's the beauty right there. Right? We don't have to go to an ashram in India to find it, right? That's ridiculous. Like, hey man, if you want to go, that's fine. That's great. I'm with you. I'll help you get there, right? But really, when the people said nature is the church, they got that right? I didn't understand that, right? And I don't need to go to any place on Sunday to find this right here. No, I don't need that big savior. I don't need anything. And it says it right here. And makes it clear, no uncertain terms that is found alongside the rhythm of Mother Nature. Okay, what is Mother Nature? Okay, Mother Nature is the stars, the moon, the sun. It is up there. Mother Nature is the cloud, the storms, and the rain. So it is up there. The thunder beams, the cloud nation. That's Mother Nature. A very beautiful, powerful cleansing. Okay, it's not only up there, but it's down here too. It's the trees, the squirrels, the little worms that are around. That's Mother Nature. And when we sit with these things, when we find that there's something beautiful there, right? And again, when you talk about this all the time, I've never gone on a walk and felt worse after walking, sitting with the trees, we sat next to a lake. I jumped in the river the other day and it was awesome, right? I just sat there, right? And you know what? I allowed, and the thing is when we walk in nature, this is what comes to us, right? This is what comes to us, right? Because they're living it as a way of life. That is their offering right there, that beautiful place of stillness, right? You ever go to a tree and just hug a tree and it's that beautiful, solid, still place? Yes, I love that. I've never heard anyone say, you know what, I just hugged that tree. That tree's not very friendly. I've never heard that, right? But when I hug that tree, it's that beautiful, grounding, honoring, stillness place, right? That's what we're talking about. That's the good stuff right there. That's the powerful stuff, right? When we really understand that, we pray with that. Guess what? We become that, right? Right? I'm not the same guy I was, 30 years ago, man. I'm not. Right? I tell stories of what I did, how I did, how often I did it. People didn't even go and believe me anymore. And I'm like, I was incarcerated, I was drunk, I was doing all that stuff, And I can remember Grandfather Tony saying all that too. But back in his youth, back in his back when he was like he was a fighter and he was a drinker. That's all he did, right? And when he was telling me that, like I couldn't even visualize that because it was so far away from it. That's that beautiful. And what we're talking about is that beautiful transformation, right? Right? That beautiful healing transformation. And we can't do that without this right here, right? No one said that they love you today. I love you, man. And these are just some beautiful things. So like even if we sat with this for the next 30 days, you know, we would only know a little. But what we knew and what we know, brings us to a better place, right? We are better people at the end of this, right? Right, right, right. And this is so beautiful. And so this is not complicated, right? When it comes from spirit, there's nothing like that, right? There's just us and the stillness. Write that down. There's just us and the stillness. And get comfortable with that. Get comfortable with the stillness. Get comfortable with the patience and just being. Get comfortable with the silence. Right? Silence has a rhythm all to its own. Silence has a wisdom and it has a song and it has a voice. All these things. Not, very few of us even know. I didn't know this, right? And I'm doing this for 30 years, right? But the universe is 13.7 billion years old. So what do I know? I don't know. I don't really know anything, right? But I know what? But I know where to go. I know where to go. This place, stillness and silence and patience and prayer. That's what I know. I know if I don't go there, then my world goes sideways pretty quick, right? Right. There is a stillness and silence and patience, right? Each and every time. And that is waiting there for us. It isn't a foreign thing. It's not like we're going to a store and saying, you know what, I need some stillness, I need some silence, I need some patience, I need some prayer. No, what we do is when we sit with it, we find out it's already inside us like that beautiful flower. We have become full circle. Okay. I love you. I love you. So, all right. So, let us sit with this. Let us sit with this stillness, right? I want you to find that beautiful place. Just go to that beautiful place and just close your eyes and just find that beautiful still place. And, let the rhythm here. Let this beautiful rhythm, the rhythm of the wind. This is a wind instrument. So let that sacred wind, take you to that beautiful, beautiful place. I love you. Just close your eyes, bro. Oh, not quite ready. Okay, well, could sound a little better, but okay. You know what I'm. I love you. Thank you for having patience with me. That was really good. So, okay, all right. Okay, the final word is, this ceremony may end, but a ceremony in you does not end. Take what we lived here and learned here, loved here, and listened to here, and take it out to the four winds. Right? That's what that means. That means be the peacemaker. Make sure it goes here. If it doesn't go here, then it won't go to our family, our loved ones, our communities. If it doesn't go here, that's where it goes first, right? So it goes far beyond hitting that share button. Hit that share button, man. You know, the spirits have worked beautifully through each and every one. You're all hollow bones here. That's the deal, right? So go ahead, hit that share button, and then take it out to the four winds. That means be the peacemakers. That's what that means. That means use kind words. When you speak kind words, it reminds other people to use kind words. Okay. My name is Kanipo with Mac One, Standing Bear. And if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much. Let's have a great day.